For the second episode in our short series on Egypt, the Republic of Fear under President Abdel Fattah Sisi, we mark two of the mass shootings in which the Egyptian army and police used excessive and lethal force on peaceful protesters. We last left off at General Sisi's military coup on July 3, 2013. After the military takeover, President Mohamed Morsi's supporters and critics of the coup, which included Muslim Brotherhood members and pro-democracy civilians, staged nationwide protests demanding Morsi be reinstated and a return to democracy. In the days that followed, the army and police began to crack down on protesters using lethal force. On the 8th of July, roughly 2,000 people had gathered for a peaceful sit-in at the Republican Guard headquarters, where demonstrators believed Morsi was being held. In the early hours of the morning, the army opened fire, killing about 61 and injuring 400 peaceful protesters, with 2 officers also being killed. However, details of the mass shooting differed at first. The military denied shooting at protesters, saying protesters shot at the military and the military fired back only in retaliation. Multiple eyewitness accounts and later investigations revealed that soldiers and snipers fired live rounds at demonstrators who were peacefully praying and gathering.
I don't agree with many of their political affiliations or whatever, but I know what I saw. The military killed these people. I have no doubt.
Though a few protesters were reported to have thrown stones and Molotov cocktails and used firearms in response to the firing from the military and police, witnesses said the vast majority of protesters were unarmed. Survivors and eyewitnesses called it a massacre.
The same way we did it in January 25th revolution. If you look at the current pro-Morsi protests around the country, they're not being attacked by thugs anymore. They're being attacked by police uniforms using state-issued weapons.
One survivor said if they just wanted to break the sit-ins, they could have done it in any other way, but they wanted to kill us. On the 27th of July 2013, thousands of Egyptians gathered outside the Manassa memorial in Cairo, marching towards the October 6th bridge to protest Sisi's call for a popular mandate to fight terrorism.
بإني أواجه العنف والإرهاب المحتمل.
Again, the army as well as plainclothes armed men among the protesters fired live rounds, many targeting the heads and chests of the demonstrators. And ultimately, 95 protesters were killed. Rights groups that investigated the roughly 6-hour-long shooting concluded that the army used excessive and intentional lethal force on largely peaceful protesters. And to date, police and army officers and other officials haven't been held accountable for the killing of any of these demonstrators. And these are just some of the events that mark the start of Sisi's rule, and many say these events lay the grounds for further violence that was yet to come. Our next episode will look at the Rabaa massacre, which is widely said to be the largest mass killing of protesters in a single day in recent history.